We're still here and we're still giving out optimistic reasons to watch this Edmonton Oilers squad. Hello and welcome, everybody, to Oilers Nation's Pregaming with BORDZY, presented by Sherwood Ford the Giants, live from a different version of the Sports Closet studio. We've actually had a lot of different versions of the Sports Closet studio so far this week. If you didn't tune in today, Tyler went live on Oilers Nation every day in Seattle from a hotel room. We'll get into that in just a minute. Quite the setup they had. But live from the studio where I see the very first YouTube comment of the day. Let's go Oilers, ? I can kind of subscribe to that. It's a late one tonight. It's an 8 o'clock start for the boys. I've been seeing a lot of fans saying they're not going to stay up and get up for these games. I don't know. It's Saturday night, people. As I said, I've heard it from countless fans. They're done watching the team this year. But when it gets closer and closer to puck drop, you'd be lying to me if you weren't checking in the chat, you weren't checking the betting lines, you weren't checking Twitter, because the closer we get, the more I buy back in. I know I'm a sick pup, but hey, that's what we do here. We do, as we said, the Nation crew is in Seattle today. They are live, boots on the ground. They look like they've had one hell of a day already. I'm a little jealous. I decided to go on the Arizona one instead, but it does look like a good time tonight. Hopefully we get a win, but because my buddy Tyler is on the road, he can't be doing it with us right now. He might be a little intoxicated. Who knows? We'll get into that in just a moment. But without further ado, I want to bring in the man who will never quit on this team, as he's never quit on the pre-gaming or post-game show. He's back once again, the face of Oilers Nation After Dark last season. It's Connor Halley. Bring him in. Bring him in. Hello, Connor. You look fantastic in your Sports 1440 hat and your poppy. Oh, mine's in the kitchen. Maybe I'll have to go get that one for the end, at least for the post-game show. But hello, Connor. You're making your pre-gaming debut. How are you, my old friend?
Aaron, I'm doing good. Happy to be on here with you. Appreciate the invite. I've kind of big timed you before, so now I'm like, I owe you. I got to get in on this one. Hey, the Oilers, it's been a struggle, but you can't quit this team. I know everyone in this city says that in the midst of their frustration, but they're not going to quit on this team. They're going to stay up. They're going to watch this game, and they're going to be pissed off and watch post game, or they're going to be thrilled and come back for Oilers Nation After Dark. So, yeah, don't buy it. When they say they're quitting on this team, Aaron, they're lying. It's not going to happen.
I don't have a single quitting bone in my body. Sometimes that gets me in trouble. Sometimes in situations like this, we're going to keep rallying, like you just said there. Hey, buddy, it's in our blood, Connor. It really is. As a lifelong Edmontonian, I will always get up for these games. It's Saturday night. It's hockey night in Canada. We're the late one. Please, I'm always going to be there. But I thought Jay, he said it best on Oilers Nation every day today. He said that there's so much previous Oilers trauma built up in us as fans that we really know how low that this season could actually go. We're not that far removed from the decade of darkness. But that's not going to stop me from drinking the Kool-Aid. They were drinking it once again today. I'm going to be watching the game, inevitably throwing down on Betway. I said they actually did ONE they made the joke, but what straight up looked like a hostage situation video, they did it from a 3-man love seat in a very darkly lit hotel room. I was just waiting for Tyler to give out his ransom demands to return Jay Downton to his family. I'm sure that would be quite the pretty penny. But speaking of Jay and the team, they are in Seattle for a nation vacation. Before I start, Connor, have you ever been to Seattle?
I have spent about an hour and a half in Seattle in their airport. Had a little Pizza Hut once, I think Carl's Jr. before. So yeah, I've been there quickly. Nothing like what those guys are doing right now. I've been following them on social media. I know Seattle is a hell of a town. There's a ton to do. I'm a little envious that they got to go down on this trip, to be honest with you. But looks like they're having a good time for sure. But no, haven't been down there to explore Seattle. I want to get down for a Seahawks game, which they're doing tomorrow, correct?
Yep, they're going tomorrow for the afternoon game, as I pointed out. Gives you plenty of time to tailgate with the 12th man. I'm sure our boy Yaremchuk's he's just going on a bender weekend, absolutely. But as I said, the team, they're down at Climate Pledge Arena, where I believe the boys have already pledged to fix the climate in exchange for an Oilers victory. The trade, 1-for-1. That's all we're going to do here. I just need to see a victory tonight, but it looks like the beers have been flowing early and often for them. I've been talking to Ty all day. He's slurring his words. He's having a good time, but that's okay. Take this nation vacation. Little plug here. There's another one, as I said, coming up in February. There it is on your screen. February 18th to 20th. We're going to the Mullet, Connor. We're going to the Mullet. We're going to go take it down from the inside the den. Connor, are you interested in coming on this trip?
I am very interested in coming on that trip. I mean, that's one of those things, right? Like, we mock it. It's a college arena, but it would actually be awesome. Like, it's going to be a good time. Then you factor in the nation. That sounds like an amazing trip, actually.
And February, it's going to be brutally cold out here. It's going to be warm as shit over there. It's going to be a good time. Maddie, our jack of all trades girl in the office, she was just at the Mullet Arena this past week, and she texted us, this is unbelievable. She was in the den, I think they call it, which is where we're going to be sitting. And she said, it's as lit as you think it's going to be. So if we bring a whole team down there, it is going to be a good time. But bring it back to the Oilers here. Connor, no moves for the Oilers after that San Jose Sharks game. I got to say, I was a little surprised. We talked about a lot. I think our Oilersnation After Dark episode, that might have been the most viewed we've ever done. People wanted heads on sticks. They wanted tar and featherings. They wanted all. Connor, were you surprised that no moves were made? They're still on a road trip.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much that impacts it. You scroll through social media, you see reports that potentially it could be when they get home. Well, what if they win 10-1 tonight? Are you seriously, are you going to make that decision? Obviously, if things are turning around, you can't do it. A little bit surprised, Aaron, because, and I think this is the same in any situation, any sport you want to look at, and this is not just me trying to rip on Jay Woodcroft, but the quickest way to get that little push is the new coach. You can change GMs, but players and GMs, they're not crossing paths every day. They might not get too motivated out of that, and you have to make a roster move for the GM to actually have an immediate impact. So just that we've seen it in the past, when teams struggle, they make that move, they bring in a new coach, a new voice, someone who might want to crack the whip a little bit and get the boys going. So for that reason alone, I thought that it might happen, but they're rolling with it. We were kind of talking about it on Sports 1440 on Friday. It was 15 minutes till practice and nothing came out. So it was pretty obvious at that point that there wasn't going to be a move. The road does make it a little bit tougher, right, to bring someone in. So I don't know. I mean, can Jay Woodcroft get a little bit more out of these guys? We know he's a good coach. We've seen them in the playoffs, 5 series, second most, I think, other than the Florida Panthers in the last couple of years. We know that he's a good coach and he can get this team where they need to be. I would put the emphasis more on the players. I think they've got to start to, do the little things. Try to win it for your coach. And if, that message isn't received and we don't see any sort of pushback from this group, then I think, at some point, it almost gives you no choice, because something has to be done. This team, on paper, has so much talent, Aaron. Like this team, we talked about it. It's cup or bust, right? I hate that I used that term, but that was what we were saying going into the season.
That. It's really come back to bite us in the ass.
I'm with you. It's such a overused term at this point, but heck, in a playoff spot or bust. I mean, this team is just too good to be where they are. They shouldn't be losing to the San Jose Sharks. Maybe you change where we expect them to be, but whatever it is, they're underachieving right now, and they've got to figure it out. Whether it's the coach, whether it's the players, they have to do something.
Yep, I called last game rock bottom. I mean, I even put on a clown nose and a clown wig for how stupid I felt doing this show. But is rock bottom not GM coach firing territory? I thought it might have been. Maybe we're a little knee jerk. Who knows? But I saw Bruce Kurlock. He had a great point on Twitter making, do you really want to overreact to 12 bad games for Jay Woodcroft or 120 good ones? Pat, can you throw this tweet up that he threw out on Twitter? I thought this one was pretty good. Here, I think I can do it. Yeah, nope, it's this one. There you go. I can produce and I can do it from the side here too. But he said, okay, I see stuff in my DMs. So judge the man by his full record, not 12 games. Fair. There are at least 2 to 3 major players working through injury. Fair. 3, goaltending. That's the most fairest thing of it all. You can't really put that on Jay Woodcroft. 4, a short roster isn't his issue. That's a Cam Holland issue. We're so close to the cap. Who could have seen this one coming when we started the season? Down a roster player? Is there stuff he can do better? Yup. Will he? He deserves faith to try. You always trust Bruce Kurlock to come in with the voice of reason. So it was pretty good to read that today. I was like, you know what? Okay, I can get back on track with this. They're on the road. Connor, I don't know if you saw Jay Woodcroft's interviews today. He looked like a man who was told that his job was secure, at least for today, because he made a joke with Spectre. He was like, Spec, I don't read your stuff. They were laughing. Gene asked him a question, and it was like he was telling him his sister just died. And he was like, so Jay, like, how do you think that the team's going to... And Jay stopped and he was like, dude, perk up. It's game day. Jay looked like he had some pep in his step. So, hey, maybe he got some news. I don't know. We just said, I saw the report too, that Woody, Holland, Manson are all going to be gone after this road trip. And it's either Gulletson or Paul Coffey to replace him. The Twitter account that I saw that tweeted it had 1.5K followers. I'm not going to follow or shame, but I didn't see Frank Saravalli tweet that out. So take that for what you may. I do have a very funny meme here. Pat, can you pull it up? I don't know if we have any I think you should leave fans out here, but if we're looking for blame, this one today on Reddit, I'm a big Reddit guy. It's at the front, Pat. Yeah, there you go. There it is. If you've seen I think you should leave, this is very funny. But the meme says, we're all trying to find the guy who did this. It's a scene, guy crashes a hot dog cart into a building, and he's wearing a hot dog suit. And he's like, who did this? Who did this? I feel like that's what Ken Holland is actively looking like right now. Let me know if you've seen I think you should leave, because I think it's one of the funniest shows on Netflix. Connor, get into it. I really like it. I also told everyone on the last game to go home and play NHL 2004 to get your armchair GMs going. So let me know if you made any moves. I traded for Jake DeBrusk in my franchise. It's been working out great. It's been working out fantastic. I bring the kid home. I'd like to see it. But okay, Connor, it's Saturday night.
Yes.
I've got my Crown Royal. I don't know if I'll do another shot today, but I did last time. You know what? Probably by the end, I'll throw one back. I've got hope. So let's get into it with our Sherwood Ford giant storyline. And for me, they're all still here. We hit rock bottom, losing to the worst team in the NHL. We are now the worst team in the NHL, supplanting ourselves there. And everyone is still here. I didn't see any moves made. Not a single move. No coach gone. No GM gone. No goalie coach gone. No demotions. No call-ups. What are we doing here is kind of my thought. I get that they're on the road. It's a little tough for me. I feel like the boys have been given second life here. And if they don't go out and put up 8 tonight, then I don't know. I might just stop giving out predictions for the rest of the season. Connor, do you have a Sherwood Ford giant storyline for this evening?
Oh, yeah. Well, I want to say, I see in the chat that Lance is watching with his in-laws on the TV. So hello to Lance and the in-laws. You showed your drink. I'm like a walking, talking billboard tonight. Look at that. Sports 1440 water, baby. Tough to come by. Storyline tonight. You know what I want to see, Aaron? Goaltending. I want to see Stuart Skinner come out tonight and show us that he can be that number one guy. If you watch this show, I've tried to be optimistic and try to always have a good spin. Now, granted, the Oilers were doing very good last year down the stretch, so there wasn't too much negativity. Yeah, you had a good
last year doing After Dark.
Hey, I did post-game shows for a good part of the Decade of Darkness. I was like, I'm due. I deserve this. But anyway, Stuart Skinner, I was looking into it, and the Oilers, since their loss against the Calgary Flames, obviously they've lost 4 straight. Since beating Calgary, my apologies, Skinner's save percentage, .833, .833, .852. This Oilers team, they don't need amazing goaltending. You know, in the past, we've seen them outscore their problems. Oh, there you go. 1-5-1. The save percentage has to get up to 9. I think that's the key to victory for this Oilers team. Above average goaltending, they'll find a way to win. Stuart Skinner has to be better. We've talked about the goals off the rush, the goals from the not the non-high danger. I don't know what that actually is called statistically, or that the analytics community calls it. But the high danger opportunities, yeah, those are going to beat you occasionally. But from the outside, you just can't get beat. And I'm aware that part of it is on the Oilers team defense, but they need Stuart Skinner to go out and goalie another team. We've seen that term thrown around a lot, that the Oilers get goalied. Stu, go do that for the Oilers. When Jack Campbell was sent down, to me, that was an indication. Although it might have been for other reasons. You're the guy. Go out there, be confident, control the crease, and I think if he can do that, I'm not breaking news here. That's going to change a lot of things for this Oilers team. So goaltending is the biggest storyline for me tonight. I think at some point, McDavid, Draisaitl, they'll go back to their old ways. They'll go nuclear, but they need to be steady between the pipes, and I think that could start tonight here with Stuart Skinner.
Yep, I agree. Stuart Skinner, sometimes I think he just needs a reminder. You were an all-star last season. You were a Calder finalist last season. You're a good goalie, man. You're a good guy. But like we said, Connor, I just need my save percentage to start with a 9. I need average goaltending. This team will pick it up. I do believe, like you said, tonight is Connor and Leon's coming out party. Maybe Connor specifically. I think we're going to see angry, pissed off McTuft. If his hair pokes through his helmet tonight, people, look out, because he's going to be smashing records. But before we get into the Oilers lineup reports, I've got a special message from our soldier, Tyler Yaremchuk, who is live and on the scene at Climate Pledge Arena. Patrick.
What's up, BORDZY? I am here at Pike Place in Seattle. Boots on the ground for the Nation Vacation, brought to you by Alberta Blue Cross. There are a ton of Oilers fans cruising around, and they want to see an Edmonton victory tonight. If you want my Sherwood Ford giant key to victory, it's as simple as this. The Oilers need their big guns to get rolling tonight. Connor and Leon, they've been too quiet, Aaron. Edmonton needs 97 and 29 to really get going tonight. It has been way too long since those two took over a hockey game and helped the Oilers deliver a big dub. They are playing again in the win column. They might be playing for Jay Woodcroft's coaching life right now, and they need a big victory tonight at Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle. I'm predicting a 5-2 Oilers dub with a big night from Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Enjoy the rest of the pregame.
If that smiley, happy face doesn't get you fired up for this game, he's struggling along with his words. It's fantastic. That was Tyler earlier this afternoon. Pat, do we have the video that I got sent to me of Tyler just roughly like 30 minutes ago? Something like that. Let me know if you got it.
Hey, let me ask you a question. We're all going to the Seahawks tomorrow. What's the pregame? You got booted. 9:30 at the box yard. We'll be there. It's right across the street from the
Style points for the bib, because that was a very smart call, as he clearly spilled all over. I'm giving that effort 2.5 out of 10 with the boot right there. Everybody knows once you get the bubble, you got to turn. You've never seen beer before. Come on, people. That's what it's all about. Connor, how much fun do you think they're having right now?
Too much fun. And you know what? I love your Chuck, because he's always going to say, yeah, I'll do that sort of thing. We were at the once. I'll give you a story here. Take you back in time while you pour yourself a shot there. Team building
saw what
event.
I was about to do.
I saw that. Team building event back in the day. We were at the Canadian Brew House. We had a tab, etc. Everyone's having a good time. And you know, they used to do that like shotception thing. It was like a big jug with 2 pint glasses with shots. It was a big time drop shot. Nobody would do it. We're getting towards the end of the night. Our tab's getting close. Who steps up and does it? Your Chuck. Only the first time I ever went live on Instagram, I'm like, we got to document this one. So the video might be out there somewhere, but God bless Tyler Yaremchuk. And yeah, that looks like they're having a good time. I heard someone in the background there already planning for the tailgate down at the Seahawks game tomorrow. Looks like a good time.
Yeah, it really does. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting some FOMO right now because I'm still at home. But hey, as I just pointed out, you saw what I was doing. I saw it in the chat. People yelling shots. This wouldn't be pre-gaming. Once again, Connor, it's okay if you don't. I got my Oilers shot glass. Cheers, folks.
Down the hatch, buddy.
Ooh,
burns so
that's
good
stuff.
Followed up with a monster. I love it.
Yeah, I had to get that going to get a little primed up before the 7 o'clock show. But okay, let's get into the Oilers lineup report. The lineup is presented by Sherwood Ford the Giants, Dealer Raiders 2023 Dealer of the Year, and 2023's Consumer Satisfaction Award winner. Used, brand new, standard, automatic, red, blue. They got it all. Sherwood Ford the Giant for a reason. Okay, Pat, can you pull it up for me here? The lines tonight, from what we've heard, there's going to be no changes. Top line of Ryan McLeod, Connor McDavid, Zach Hyman. I'm sure that will change quickly with Mr. Woodcroft behind the bench. But second line of Dylan Holloway, Leon Draisaitl, and Warren Fogle. Third line, the one I love, the one I call a championship. Third line of Evander Kane, Ryan Nugent Hopkins, and Sam Gagner. Then the kid line featuring old man Derek Ryan, Raph Lavoie with James Hamblin, and DR on the right wing. D pairing stay the same. Matthias Ekholm with Evan Bouchard. Darnell Nurse with Cody Ceci, and Brett Kulak with Vinny Desharnais. Connor, I love spending all this time on the lineup for Jay just to blend it up immediately. I believe last game it was the 30-minute mark before he yanked Ryan McLeod off of the top line and put Leon Draisaitl up there. I always say I like keeping the spine because break glass in case of emergency. You can then bring those guys out there, which is exactly what he did. So I can't really complain. You would like to see some consistency, but it's McLeod again on the top line. I love his speed with Connor. I did not think the last game was great for Ryan McLeod, hence why he was pulled off that top line. Where is your belief that McLeod can find his game and produce next to Connor McDavid? Oh, I think you're muted.
Sorry, I was adjusting my
There you go.
headphones. Yeah, I would say not that high. It just, what has he given me to believe that he can do it? And I'd like to see him, a little more aggressiveness in his play. I think this year he's got 1 assist. So, some people might be critical. Why is he the one who gets the opportunity to go up and play on the line with Connor McDavid? I get what you said though, like the speed factor. He can keep up with him. He's just got to go out there and I think muck it up a little, do a little bit of the dirty work, look across, see what Zach Hyman does, right? Zach Hyman, there's a reason he had career highs last year. He was doing those sorts of things, going to the blue paint, winning battles. When you're playing with a talent like Connor McDavid, you got to take advantage of that. Go to the net, keep your stick on the ice. Simple hockey. Connor McDavid's going to find you. So I like that we get a chance to see it once again. It's an opportunity, but like you said, Aaron, when's that blender going to come out? If Seattle scores first, all of a sudden does Jay make the bump and put Draisaitl back up there? I hope not. he's taking shots, of course, but I don't know. We'll see. I really hope it works out for McLeod and he pots one here tonight, gets the confidence going, but it's been a tough year offensively for him.
Yep, it sure has. We look at that. If you could just find extra production from a Dylan Holloway and a McLeod on those lines, you can roll that third line. Baby, we're stringing it together. I believe, what is it, Frank Saravalli said, we just have to go 18-11 to get us to the 41 game mark. We'll be at 500, and then we can go back. Son of a bitch, I'm in. Because he said it like that, and I'm like, oh, that's not so hard. That seems very simple. We can do that. But moving down the lineup, Dylan Holloway back with Draisaitl and Foegele. To be completely honest with you, I thought Dylan Holloway and Warren Foegele carried Leon Draisaitl in the last game. Now, Connor, I'm not going to go full on Tyler on post game last game and say some things about Leon Draisaitl like he did, that he can't carry a line or carry a team on his own. He has been off his game lately, right, Connor? You see it. We saw pissy Leon in the media once again, right? It's not going great for him. What have you thought of Leon Draisaitl lately? There it is on your screen.
Yeah, when Leon's like that, Aaron, I'd be scared to ask him a question because I think you could ask him a great question and he's going to be like, well, what do you think? He's just going to give it right back to you. You almost wonder why you even speak to him after a game like that. Maybe go to someone who might give you more of a thoughtful answer. A Derek Ryan, even Vander Kane gives good answers, Darnell Nurse, but that doesn't really matter. I was looking at it too. Since the 4-game losing skid, Leon Draisaitl has 2 points, 1 goal, 1 assist. I wonder, because I agree with you. Last game, Holloway and Foegele, those are guys, and Foegele, I believe, contract year, right? So even if he's not making money here, he's trying to put out some good film and maybe get a contract somewhere else. He's all effort, as is Dylan McLeod. And, you got to match that at least. I know part of his game is playing at his pace and maybe slowing down the guys around him. But no, I think he hasn't been good enough in the last 4 games, and it's evident. One thing I think I've uttered thousands of times in this market, all forms of media, is this team will go as far as McDavid and Draisaitl will take them. If those guys are at their best, they can will you to victory on most nights. But it just hasn't been good. I don't know what the injury issues might be for 97, if something's lingering, but we haven't heard that about Leon Draisaitl. So I think he's got to look at himself in the mirror and say, hey, if something is wrong with 97, I'm an MVP. I'm a 50-goal scorer. I got to go out there and I got to start being better and lead by example, show some effort, do what Foegele does. Like, Warren Foegele, I love watching him. And I've joked about this before, but there is a little bit of truth there. When he gets going, sometimes I see that 3-7 and I think it's 9-7. Like, he's moving out there. He lacks the touch. He lacks the goal scoring ability, but he's going to give you that effort, right? And eventually they're going to go in, we hope. So yeah, I won't go to the level that your Mchuk was. I will say that was a great rant that he had. I was shaking my head a little bit because I do think that Draisaitl does have the capabilities, to carry a line and make those around him better. But in the last couple games, we just haven't seen it.
Yep, that's very fair. The thing with like the pissy Leon, once again, I felt bad for that reporter because I didn't think it was a crazy question. Leon just needed to take it out on somebody, and hey, that's okay. Sometimes I just like to see Leon. For me, it's all about more effort, right? You can be in the rut that you're in, but it's the body language, taking dumb penalties. I want to see him make a Nathan McKinnon type play where it's all about effort, wanting it more, laying a big hit, winning a draw, going that extra mile. Because I know Leon, he produces points and he puts it in the back of the net, but sometimes that's what you need to take your team to the next level. I think McKinnon's a great example of that type of player. That guy is a honey badger all the time. I want more of that from Leon. Once again, I think we're getting that honey badger from Connor McDavid tonight. I don't care how injured he is. That man, he looks angry, and we know an angry Connor McDavid is good for nobody. Third line, Kane, Nuge, Gags. For me, it's a line that I really don't have many complaints with. They're super consistent. Would I like to see more production overall? Yes. But in general, I always feel pretty confident when I see those three on the ice. Connor, where's your confidence level with that group?
Yeah, totally. I would agree with you on that one. I mean, Evander Kane, the point production hasn't been there, but I think for stretches he's been the best player on this team. I mean, he still shows that intensity. And just going back to what you said, like Leon Draisaitl, if he goes out there and throws a big hit, that's going to raise the level of play around everyone. They're all going to get fired up, and that's when we know Evander Kane's at his best, right? When he's crashing the net, talking a little bit of trash, Sam Gagner's going to get in there. He'll drop the mitts if he has to. He understands what he has to do.
Nuge will drop the mitts. I could use a Nuge fight tonight.
Oh, if we get a Nuge fight tonight, I mean, lock in the win. I think the boys were talking about a McDavid or Draisaitl fight.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want a McDavid fight, but I have said it for a while. I think if Draisaitl ever was mad enough to drop the mitts, he would be a weapon. Like you do not want to mess with that guy. I think he's got some anger built up. The pissiness would come out.
He's a big dude, too.
He's a big, strong dude, 100%. So maybe the technique could be worked on. Maybe we got to get him training this offseason just in case he ever needs to do it. But yeah, hey, maybe a fight is what this team needs. Someone to spark them, get them going a little bit early. And maybe it should come from an unlikely source like Nuge or Gagner.
I would kill for a Nuge fight tonight, man. That guy, you only get one of those maybe once a year, once every couple of years. So you got to use them when you need them. Well, we need them right now. Give me a Nuge versus Yamo fight. Fuck it.
Oh my gosh, that would be fantastic. How about two Washington boys, DR and Yamo? Could we see that?
Hey, I'll take some of that. It really is if you're going to bet on an ex-Oiler revenge game goal scorer, tonight's the night. Kyler Yamamoto, Devin Shore, Adam Larson, Justin Schultz. Take a pick of the litter. One of those guys is scoring a goal tonight. I feel very confident. But now that I actually said that, nothing I've said on the show has ever come true. So, hey, look at that. Maybe we'll be good tonight. D pairings stay the same, not by want, but because we literally can't make any other moves, no other options. Broberg still in the AHL. Defense has been a big issue this year, whether it's clearing the front of the net or horrible pinches in the offensive end that come back down on an odd man rush. This needs to stop now, Connor. I don't know how it's going to when we keep rolling out the same guys. Sound like a broken record, looking for more effort, more consistency. Confidence level that we're not going to see a 2-on-1 go back down our end and they inevitably cross ice and score.
Oh, I mean, it's probably going to happen. Like the last game, Darnell Nurse, he could have just simply chipped it into the offensive end. Nothing's going to happen. Is it an amazing play? No. But is it going to come back and haunt you? Unlikely. Like, it's a simple play. You can make it the blue line. Instead, it goes the other way. And we know what happens. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen kind of and I'm sure you did. You pause it going back there. There's 4 Oilers, 2 Sharks, and it's a goal. And it's extremely frustrating. I think it was Kane and Darnell, there's someone else. They back-checked hard, but they just weren't going to get there because it's the NHL and the puck moves fast. Skaters they're going to be taking it down the ice very quickly. Evan Bouchard, the pinch going back to another game. It's like, what are you doing? You don't have to make that. Just defend. Worry about defending your own end more than anything.
Live to see another day.
Yes, exactly. If you have to get back and make it an even rush, that's okay. That's okay, but it's better than you making a mistake and going the other way, odd man rush, because those have been backbreakers for the Oilers. But yeah, I think we'll probably see one or two of those tonight, and you just hope that Stuart Skinner can make the save.
There's one thing I'm confident in. It's exactly that, and it's giving up an odd man rush the other way. Rick said it today on ONE. For him, his key to victory was a quick start, a good start for the Edmonton Oilers. I thought lately we've been getting the hot starts we've wanted. We've been putting a lot of shots on net. Are they necessarily high danger shots? Hey, we'll get into that in just a moment. But they've been getting out 2 good starts. The thing is, it always seems to happen. The other team only has 4 shots, whatever. They get a great chance. They bury. And we're already chasing the game 1-0. We're in a deficit. And with the way this team's mood has been lately, it must be so just deflating to try and keep going like that when, boom, you're down 1-0 again. You know you're not getting a save from your goaltender. I don't know what happened from last year, but I swear it's the same guys. I keep saying it, Connor. Why does this keep happening? I've never, like last year, I thought of us as a team that's built to come from behind, always, never out of a game. This year, we go down 1, and I'm like, oh, man, it's over. This isn't going to happen. Continuing, though, with the Oilers' shots, Tyler said it's a lock today. Take the over on shots. I think every game the Oilers lose, they break the over on their shots. We've been putting up like 40 and losing for every game. The Oilers lead the league in shots for per game, but I need to see more high danger shots, Connor. Not this perimeter bull that I keep seeing. Cycling it around is all good. Don't get me wrong. That's how I play chess. I'm always working around down low. You look for your opportunity, but eventually I need someone to make a play into the front of the net, wrap it around, do something. Some of these just lazy wristers from the points that hit a shin pad, shocker. Nothing really happens. Give me a greasy one, like you said, the Zach Hyman way. Go in there and go poke me one in, lose your helmet, get a face wash. That would be something for me. Connor, anything else we haven't discussed with the Oilers lineup right now that you want to get into? Anybody else, any players to watch this evening for you?
Well, just an Aaron. I mean, hey, you go to the net. Even if you don't score, stick it in there. Get a face wash. Then do it again. And then do it again. And then do it again until the goalie's off his game, the defense takes a penalty, or maybe one goes in. You're right. 43 shots against the Canucks. It was 19-3. They were up 1-0, then 19-5, and they're down 2-1 against San Jose. 41 shots. It's ridiculous. And I think one of the problems is, shooting's great. Anything can happen. But let's get some bodies in front. Let's try to maybe deflect one, get an ugly goal. Maybe don't make that unnecessary extra pass that we've seen time and time again. Just put it on net. Aim for the pads, get a rebound, get a tap in. Who knows what can happen? Other people in the lineup, I don't know. I mean, I do want to see what Raph Lavoie can do, but how long is he going to play?
8 minutes of ice time?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and this was kind of the thing when the team decided to send him to Bakersfield at the start of the year and potentially lose him on waivers. In my mind, it was, well, why don't you put him where he should be? He's probably going to hopefully be a top 6 guy. That's what he's been in his career. How much of a benefit is it to have him in the bottom 6? Maybe there's things he's learning. Maybe there's opportunities in games where he gets pushed up. That would be cool to see. But he's one guy I'll be watching out for just to see, how is he progressing? How's he adapting to the NHL speed of the game? But as we both kind of said, in the time he'll be out there, it's hard to really see. I just want to see McDavid and Draisaitl go off. Dominate shifts back-to-back, pin Seattle in their own end, and get a line change. And then, you're just coming in line after line. That's what I'd love to see. Show the world why they're the best players in the league right now. And, I mean, stop being the laughingstock, because Oilers fans are taking it right now from everywhere around the NHL. Go out there and do it for the fans. If you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for the fans.
I'm a big Reddit guy, and I believe it was the largest Reddit thread ever or something, maybe in the NHL of the Sharks-Oilers one. It was just everybody from around the league coming in, support on there. 2 things to close out with the Oilers lineup. Raph Lavoie, to add on to your point, if Ryan McLeod isn't giving her and showing me that he can be that on the top line, I know the irony, the hypocrisy of what I'm about to say. Blend it up, put Lavoie in that spot. I want to see what he can do in there. What do you got to lose right now? We got to find something, some chemistry in there who can go with him. I'd like to see that one. Leads me further with the greasy goal conversation. Power play 2. Power play 2 has been the way better power play for the last couple games here. We normally never see them get any ice time. They continue to the last couple of games. They even scored. Darnell scored. Matthias Ekholm scored. At this point, man, I'm okay starting a power play with PP2. Connor, confidence in the power play. Then we'll move along.
Well, that would be accountability, though. And we don't see that with this team, right? Like, why would you do that? Just throw out the same old guys and hope it works. Even if it hasn't worked the last 25 times, let's go for it. I agree with you. You know, maybe that would be something like I brought this up before. Going back to like the Oil Kings way back in the day, Power Play 1, it was like Michael St. Croix, TJ Foster, all this top end talent, and they'd work it around and they'd score some beauty goals. But sometimes they would take those guys off and put in the second unit, and it was straight up, we're gonna outwork you. It's gonna be ugly. We're gonna whip pucks on net and hope it works out, and it would. Like it's two different styles, whatever. I'm with you. The top power play, I don't know where they are coming into this game. I think they were 9th in the league previously, like 25%. That might have dropped off, but it slowed down a little bit. But I don't think there's any problem with occasionally ninth. Yeah. Okay, still 9. So it's held up. 25%, somewhere around there. I mean, nothing wrong with every once in a while throwing out that second unit, giving them a little bit more ice time, and seeing what they can do. Because we know, like, you go out there for 30 seconds, that's just not enough. Like, I'd like to see it closer to getting them 45 seconds to a minute if possible, but I don't really foresee it happening. Like I said, that would be accountability.
Dude, look at this graphic on the screen. We are losing every single one of those categories. From the record, goals for, goals against, power play, penalty kill. Holy shit, I didn't expect to see that. Oh my, that's good stuff. But okay, let's move along now. Let's get into our starting goaltenders reports. And the starting goaltenders are brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. They used to be known as Free Spirit Marine and Power Sports since 1985. They're teaming up with the good people of Sherwood Ford. I'm a Sherwood Park guy. I love doing very Sherwood Park related ad reads. I feel very affected by this one. I can't wait to check this place out. Brand new state-of-the-art facility in the heart of Sherwood Park by Millennium Place. It's going to be sick. All 91,000 liter test pool we keep talking about. It'll be open in February 2024, selling fishing boats, pontoon boats, ATVs, side-by-sides, whatever you want, they've got it. Okay, Pat, can you bring it up for me? These starting goaltenders for tonight's matchup. It's Stuart Skinner. No, everybody, it is not Calvin Pickard or Pickard. Connor, how do you say it?
Pickard.
Okay, I've been saying Pickard, so okay.
I always thought Picard, like when he was coming to the league, but at some point I just went with Pickard.
I'm pretty sure in the World Juniors and stuff, they were calling him Calvin Picard, because I wouldn't remember something like that unless they were. But as you see, it's Stuart Skinner, 151 record, yeesh, 387 goals against average, yeesh, 0.854 save percentage. Guess what I'm going to say? Yeesh. That's not great. And then you look across, Philip Grubauer, 3-5 with the 301 goals against. And Connor, a save percentage that starts with a 9. It's no better than that, but it's an exact 9. Man, am I jealous. I would really like to see that. Sorry to all the Calvin Pickard truthers out there. Damn it, I said it. It's Pickard. All the Calvin Pickard truthers are going to have to wait to see him. I thought Thursday against the Sharks was the ideal situation for him to step into. I think this is more about trying to get Stu going, obviously, because I don't think the confidence is there that Pickard will be the guy for the foreseeable future. Pat, I wanted you to get to this. Can you throw a poll in the chat and see who, if the chat wanted Pickard or Stu tonight? We're going to get Stu for sure, but I'm curious where the fans are at. I've been neglecting the chat a little bit too. I'm sorry, guys. I saw a couple of my buddies in there, and they said, I'm pretty sure Aaron said if the Oilers don't make the playoffs, he'll cut off one of his toes. And then the other guy's like, yeah, no, he said that. I did not say that. I will not do that. But Stu, guys, okay, there it is in the poll right now, people. You can get into it. Stu's the number one option. He's the guy. I don't hate going with him. We keep saying it every game. But if we're going to turn it around, Connor, it starts with Stu. Is tonight the night he strings it together?
Yes, tonight is the night.
Yeah.
Tonight's the night he does it. Plus 900 save percentage. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping so. The whole Pickard thing, like, I kind of had that same sort of thought. If you're bringing him up and we're assuming it's not just going to be for a few days. He's going to have to start eventually. So why not give him the San Jose game and see how it goes? I think there might have been a little bit of fear, though, from the coaching staff. Like, okay, if we lose this game 4-3, people are going to be talking, and maybe we may have made the mistake. Let's try to get Stu going and see what he can do. Don't think he was the, again, it's been like every game, there's a goal that seems like, geez, that would have been nice to save. That would have been the one. We need that save to keep them in the game, and they haven't got it. But, there's a lot more problems when it comes to this team. They got to be better in front of them. Like we said, avoid those odd man rushes. But I think tonight's the night. As I said, 8-3-3, 8-3-3, 8-5-2 in his last 3 appearances. You know what? I think this is the night he goes plus 900 and gives the Oil
1.000 bucket.
Oh, I like that.
No, I don't even mean that as I say that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like, do we think they're going to turn it around? Sure will. But deep down, probably not. Probably not. Seattle's got some players there and so many former Oilers that are all going to score.
Every one of them. We'll get into that in just a moment here. Wow, time's already been flying by. Pat, can you pull the goalie graphic back up for me to get a good look at Philip Grubauer? He's in the crease for the Kraken tonight. You saw the numbers there. Semi-pedestrian, hey, whatever you want to say. Last season, though, I looked this up on NHL.com, the great stats. He played 2 games against the Oilers. Combined, he made 9 saves on 15 shots. He was yanked. It said he had 30 total minutes of ice time. It's a point night, people. That is all I'm hoping for. Of course, that little stat had to give me just enough hope. It said his save percentage was .600 and 11.84 goals against last season. So, hey, let's keep turning around. Last thing with the goalies here. Connor, I'll ask you this. I think I know what your answer is going to be. Everybody wanted Dustin Schwartz head on a stick. He's one of the guys that you want to blame, I guess. I'm not in a goaltending room. I'm not a goaltender. I don't know how much a goaltending coach affects what's going on out there. Where do you come out on that one? Do you want him tarred and feathered just like everybody else in this chat?
Well, I get the frustration, certainly, because you got to be mad at someone and everyone's going to put the blame somewhere else. We got into it on Fantasy Frenzy, and I just said, because a texter, a listener had said, well, every goalie that leaves Edmonton has had success elsewhere. And I said, well, who has that been? Who has been the goalie that's left Edmonton and become a really good goalie? Devin Dubnyk. Well, yeah. They didn't cross paths. Yeah, Dubnyk right? was gone by the time that he was brought in. So, I get it. I totally understand that Dustin Schwartz will become a little bit of a whipping boy, and the goaltending hasn't been good enough. But also, the players that they have signed, Mike Smith was an aging goalie and played pretty well. Mikko Koskinen, how many teams were reaching out to bring him into the NHL? I have to go back and look, but I don't think he was like a high priority goaltender coming over from Europe. They invested a mid-round pick in Stuart Skinner, and he's performed admirably. Jack Campbell, super up and down, is a guy they brought in. Have they neglected drafting a goalie with a super high talent, like a top-end guy, which they could have drafted a couple years ago, right? We traded back, ended up with Xavier Bourgault, and hopefully that works out. So I don't know. I don't know if this team needs to invest a little bit more into the goaltending or what the plan might be. The Oilers haven't had and developed an elite goaltender, and if you want to put that at the hands of Schwartz, then yeah, albeit they can make that move, but I don't know if that's going to immediately impact this team. And you bring in a new goalie coach, and Stuart Skinner's going to flip the switch. It could happen. Who's to say? Maybe that would be it. Maybe that's the key to victory, and then the Oilers never lose a game because their goaltending's so good. But I don't know. He might be one of the guys, but I'm not on the they have to fire him. That's the problem. I don't necessarily look at it that way.
I don't think that he's the solution, clearly, as we've had mediocre goaltending for years. I don't think you get rid of him and all of a sudden Jack Campbell's back in the NHL making saves. Oh, Patrick, do you have that news clipping I also pulled up earlier today that I thought I found online? This made me laugh very hard. Man who thought he'd lost all hope will lose his last additional bit of hope he didn't even know he still had. That was exactly how I felt watching him do his post-game interviews from the other game, too. He was like, I thought I was playing good, but I get it's a numbers game. I'm like, brother, you thought you were playing good? What's going on here? Am I taking crazy pills? But okay, let's move along on the goaltending.
What's the numbers game, Aaron? Like, sorry to interrupt, but what was the numbers game he's referring to?
He's saying that it's a numbers game and you need to have good numbers. No shit, I'd say.
Like, is that's what it was? It wasn't like a cap thing because they didn't really gain that much relief in cap from the move.
Do you think that's what he meant?
I don't know. I mean, I guess if it's a numbers game, then yeah, you have bad numbers, you're not gonna play typically. So I guess that would make more sense.
Yeah, well, we'll never know because hopefully he never comes back into Edmonton for at least a little bit here. We won't know. Okay, the Seattle lineup. We're at 45 minutes. It's brought to you by Greta. Greta's the best. Everybody knows it. Saturday night in Edmonton. Hey, you're not in Seattle on a nation vacation? Go out to Greta, get a couple beers, play a couple games, win some skee ball, hustle some folks. That's what I tend to do by the Mario Karts. It is a great time always. But okay, we said it. It's an Oilers revenge game, ex-Oiler revenge game. There's 4 of them in the lineup tonight. Top line for the Seattle Kraken of Jared McCann, Matty Beniers, and Kyler Yamamoto. Upgraded the top line for this one. Jaden Schwartz on the second line, left wing with Alexander Wenberg and Ty Cartier. I can never say his name right. Third line of Eli Tolvanen, Yanni Gord, and Oliver Bjorkstrand. Look at number 94 there on the bottom left. Oh, that's just another homage to Oilers fans. I love Devin Shore so much. I know Liam's betting on an anytime goal. It's him with Shane Wright and Ryan Winterton. Then on the decor, it's Vince Dunn with my sweet angel, who I miss every day. 1-for-1, Adam Larson. Then Jamie Alexiak with William Borgen, Brian Dumoulin, and Justin Schultz. He'll be running the power play 2, I do believe. So it's a Yamo revenge game. He's on the top line. Be sure to smash your ex-Oiler anytime goal props. I don't even know if they offer Devon Shore. They probably don't. But if you can get it, hey, do it. Top line for them. Plenty of firepower with Rookie of the Year Matty Beniers and 40-goal scorer Jared McCann of last season. Beniers hasn't had a great start to the year, though. I believe he has 7 points in 14 games, 1 goal. So McCann, yeah, he leads the team, or he's second in the team with goals with 6. A lot of people said that these guys couldn't repeat and do what they did last year. I feel like they're off to a good start. Then as we look down, Jordan Eberle is out tonight. Pour one out for our sweet, sweet boy. He got his leg sliced up on the ice. So thoughts, prayers, Jordan, we love you. We hope you come back. So Jaden Schwartz has been the high point man on the team. He's second line left wing. He's Mr. Consistency. He has 13 points in 14 games. For me, he's the guy to watch on that line. Oliver Bjorkstrand on the third line. He right now is performing very good with 6 goals, 6 assists in 14 games. And it's Devon Shore and Shane Wright, baby, the dynamic duo that you didn't know you needed. I guess when you look at this lineup, Connor, who stands out to you? What do you think about it? I hate it because I look at just like the Sharks one and I say, wow, we're so much better than that lineup top to bottom. We should win. I kind of feel the same again tonight, but it never seems to go that way, Connor.
No, something about like hard work, working more than hard skill, whatever that quote is. Whatever it is, it's true. 94 for sure. That one stands out to me, not in a good way. I feel like only one man can pull off 94, but whatever. It's okay. Devon Shore. Yeah, you know what? I mean, just looking at that line, like I know, Matty Beniers and McCann and good players, but I still get the vibes like the Oilers should run that into the ground. You've got Connor McDavid, Kyler Yamamoto's there. He's going to be buzzing around against his former team. But just looking at the Kraken roster on paper, I think this is a group that the Oilers can take advantage of. I mean, they've got some good players, but I mean, I think McDavid and Draisaitl, just looking at those defensive pairings, when they're on their game, they can expose some of those guys, whether it be off the rush or, down low. They have the skill, the ability to do so. So, it's not a world beaters roster here with Seattle, but they play a good style of game that has worked for them. And, obviously a few new faces, but we saw what they could do last year, right? This team can play at a very high level, well coached. We'll see how the goaltending goes. You pointed that out earlier. I mean, the Oilers seem to have the number, but again, hey, the Oilers, it's all about them. I feel like I'm Jay Woodcroft last year. It's about the Oilers, not the opponent. They got to play their game, and if they find that, I think they'll be okay.
We're the better team. It should work that
Yeah.
way. I know it's not that simple, but I'm starting to beat my head against the wall because I feel like it is that simple. We're better, play better. We need to do it. Lance, I see you in here in the chat. Maria, I want to wish you a very happy birthday. I don't know how old you are, but have a great day. I hope you wished for your birthday cake that the Edmonton Oilers would win this game. You see my other buddy in here is talking about Connor, I once had the same injury as Jordan Eberle, and I sliced the hell out of my upper thigh. Like, dude, very close to my femoral artery. My buddy's in here. He said, Bordsy, show us your scars. Ebs wants to see. We can compare scars. Chicks dig scars, Jordan Eberle. So don't worry. You're good. We've got it covered there. For me, Yanni Gord, always a player to watch on their lineup. He's an energy bug. He's all over the place. I may have him in a fantasy in a different league, so that might be for different reasons to watch him. I also noticed going through the lineup, I thought it's strange. Jared McCann is on the second power play. He scored 40 goals last year, and he's on the second power play. Don't really understand that one, but hey, we'll move along. Justin Schultz is also on that PP2. But okay, it's about that time. Connor, it's your first time in here for the little Betway segment, 19 plus. Please play responsibly. It's time for Bordzy's Bankroll, where if you're new here, we're going to give you 3 bets that we like tonight, supported by some statistics. Shout out Gavin. He still gave us the bets, even though he's in Seattle. And all right, pull him up here, Pat. The stats for me first. So as we read along here, the Edmonton Oilers have a 5-2 record against the Kraken. The Oilers have more shots per game than any other team in the league at 34.8. God, that hurts to read because we can't score goals. All 7 competitions between these two have hit the over. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Despite the slow start, Draisaitl still leads the team with 5 goals in 12 games. McDavid has scored in 6 of 7 matchups against the Kraken. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Angry Connor, the McTuft, as I said earlier, should be out tonight, getting extra speedy. Then the Oilers have a 35% power play percentage against the Kraken, 7 for 20. The Oilers get an average of 3.58 power play chances per game against the Kraken. So, Patrick, you got it here for me. Our choices this evening. Pat's going to throw this in the poll for us. First option, we're not getting crazy here. We just got to see it through. We don't know how confident the fans are going to be. So Edmonton Oilers money line, it's minus 125. I love how we're still favorites. Like, man, what was the last game? Whatever we were minus against the Sharks, we
Worst
still
team in the
find a way to
league.
lose it. I have just been hemorrhaging money this season. You'd think I'd stop, but Betway, 19 plus. Please play responsibly and in between your means. Second option is Leon and McDavid to score. I love this one. I'm smashing on that one, no matter what the chat votes. That's plus 275. Finally, it's Nuge, 1+ power play points at plus 130. I've been saying it. All I've been seeing Nuge do is hesitate on the power play. There's so many times I want him to shoot or I want him to just throw it on net. Seems like he's waiting for the perfect play. Tonight would be great. I will take a fight too. I'll lose the money if you don't score, if you get a power play point. But if you get in a fight, I'll take that. Connor, which one of these 3 jumps out to you? And is there anything that you've sprinkled on besides ex-Oiler goal scorers?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to make money that way. That just seems wrong. But I like that Leon and McDavid to score. Like this is the way they get back into it. You can talk about better goaltending. You can talk about better defense, production out of your bottom 6. I'm gonna say McDavid and Draisaitl gotta get going. That's how they get back into this. That's gonna be their best way to do so. And to be optimistic, it happens tonight. So I like Leon and McDavid to score. I'd also say, hey, 1.5 points. Go for that. We're hoping they break out here. So it's all gonna get going tonight. Playing the prime time, the big time game. Everyone's gonna be watching. Hopefully, go for it. And yeah, I'm hoping just for a lot of point production, a lot of shots. Go for that one tonight. It's all gonna come together.
I need a point night. I just need, I said I need to see 8 go in that. I'll take 6. I'll take 7. I'll take the over. Right now, Edmonton Oilers money line is leading it with 43%, but Connor and Leon are right behind with 37%. We might have to let this one go till a couple minutes before we end here.
Aaron, wait, hold on. Sort of jump in.
No, please do.
Is it like just what they think is the most realistic, or like factoring in payday?
I'd say it's whatever they want. I think it's factoring which one do you want a squad ride with is what I've been telling everyone. If you want to get in on it,
Okay.
but they're basically deciding where my money goes. And so far, this hasn't been working out very well. We started out so hot to start the year, and then now it's not going so that way. But hey, just like the Oilers, we're gonna pull ourselves out of this one. Once again, little notes, little closing housekeeping. I keep wondering, is this going to be Woody and Holland's last game? We really thought with the visual. I'm no lip reader, but everybody online thought they were, with Jay Woodcroft saying, I think this is it or whatever, with Dave Manson. I understand the road trip mentality. So Monday, you're back at home. What is Monday, a stat holiday? Why don't you fire a guy on Remembrance Day? Is that unconstitutional? I don't know. Our path forward, even if we do it, it's so foggy. So I don't even know what I want them to do. I'd be ideal. Maybe we just win this one and we put our 10-game heater together. Then we don't have to talk about this anymore. Can roll it going. I said I could really use a Nuge fight. This feels like a fight night for me. It's Saturday night, hockey night in Canada. Give me something. And yeah, that's really that. Right now, I'm still seeing Leon on Connor have taken the lead. I want to bring in my pal Patrick here from behind the scenes. He's at home as well. Pat, is there anything you like this evening on the betting?
I think
front? That way.
Nothing stands out more to me than Connor McDavid, 6 out of 7 goals against the Kraken. The first game they played against each other is the one he didn't score to. So that's 6 in a row that he has scored, and it's time for him to pick it up. Granted, I think the value with that is Nuge +1 power play point, because I think it's going to come on the power play. But Leon and McDavid to score, it's getting a unit for sure.
Yeah, no, and there's so many. It's happening again. I'm so dejected on the post-game show all day yesterday. I'm down in the dumps. And then I start drinking the Kool-Aid, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to bet on this. I believe in this is going to happen. I think this is going to happen. Right now, let's end it here, I think, with 52% of the votes. Everybody's going Leon and Connor to each score a goal at +275. I always have to do this, Connor, right at the end, because the betting lines on Betway do close right when the game starts. And I'm true to my word. I lock in every single time, whatever this chat tells me to do. Big thank you to everybody in the chat. You guys are the best. There's still over 100 of you in here. It's a late one tonight. We're going to be doing Oilersnation After Dark. There might be some Crown Royal dipped into. Connor, you will be joining me once again. Thank you so much for doing this. I can't appreciate it enough. You're the man. You're Mr. Consistency. I even like seeing your backdrop again because I got to see that so much last year. I was behind the scenes, but me and you would do it. You excited to text each other and pick the good, bad, and oily again?
Yeah, I'm fired up for that one. Now, I gotta say just one more thing. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm locked in here. All 3 of your bankrolls are gonna hit. They're all gonna hit tonight, so there's no bad options. Be responsible, like you say, but they're all gonna hit tonight.
Shout out Gavin. And there has been several times this year, Connor. It has been going well lately, but that we have hit all 3 of these. There's been nights we've said, I like all 3 of these. You can pick what you want, but I'm still going to smash all 3. Maybe tonight is one of those nights. It's the optimism. I got to cool myself down. Got to bring myself back down to earth here. The closer I get to puck drop, the sicker of a puppy I become. But okay, that'll do it for us. I want to give a final shout out to all of our lovely sponsors. Sherwood Ford, the Giant. They are the best. Sherwood Power Sports and Marine, opening in February 24. Go check that place out. You drive past it right now. It's all black. It looks like the future is just right next to Millennium Place. At first, when I didn't know what it was, I'd drive past it and be like, what is in there? Like, I just want to peer in the outside and look in. There's a 91,000 liter test pool in there. Duh. Then I want to give a shout out to Greta. They're the best. Maybe you'll see me out there later tonight. We've only been able to talk about a win twice this year on After Dark. So, dear God, I hope we get another one tonight. And finally, Betway, 19 plus. Please play responsibly. That'll do it for me and Connor Halley. Shout out to Patrick behind the scenes. Shout out to the Nation team out in Seattle. I know that they're stressed out right now. I know Jay's throwing down and betting with his heart tonight. So maybe we'll get an appearance from them later. Hopefully Tyler doesn't quit on the team again. But thank you very much, everybody. We will create the After Dark event, throw in some spicy takes during the game, and we will chat after the game is finished. Sayonara, everybody, and good luck.